Hello and welcome to Sport Vibes on DNTWOK. My name is Bolaji Alimi and I'm your host. Yet again, having the opportunity to take you across the world of sports and, of course, as it's our custom, to take vital lessons from what is springing up from the world of sports. As I said earlier, I'm the sport pilot. I go by the name Bolaji Alimi. After this break, we'll be back for the full details. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sport Vibes on DNTWOK. This week we'll be looking at something peculiar. We'll be looking at a very different sport from all we've mentioned in time past in all of our episodes. And it's a sport that is not so common. As a matter of fact, some of you may be hearing for the first time that such a sport exists. As it's our culture on DNTWOK to always ensure we bring you the very best. And so the sport we will be talking about this week is arm wrestling. Many people do not even know that arm wrestling exists as a sport. Maybe back in junior school, secondary school, amongst your colleagues, mates, or when you were much younger, you saw it as a mere game. When you're talking about arm wrestling, of course, it requires you bringing your arm on the table and then having to contest with someone else who is also going to put his arm on the table as well, as you might have seen on the pictures. So talking about arm wrestling, we'll be looking at how it's taking shape even from the continent of Africa, and of course looking at what is set to happen in the nearest future. So let's bring you up to speed concerning what has happened so far, especially in this year 2022, because of course the Arm Wrestling Federation in the country of Nigeria has been in existence for a number of years, but they are still not recognized by the Federal Ministry of Sports. They've been a bit under the radar because of that. Nonetheless, they are pulling strings behind the scene, and quite a number of people are aware of what they are doing and their exploits. And as a matter of fact, these years since the ease from the lockdown of COVID-19, a lot of things are coming back to shape, especially concerning this arm of sport as well. Back in May, the Arm Wrestling Federation, talking about Nigeria now, the Nigerian Arm Wrestling Federation held a one-day international event that involved participants from the country of Cameroon, Togo, Ghana, and even Nigeria. So this involved several weights, from the weight of 62 to 73 kilogram for men, 80 to 90 kilogram for men as well, and of course 94 to 100 kilogram for men. And on the women's wing, there were a lot of competitions as well, from 60 to 90 kilogram and 80 to 100 kilogram. And as a matter of fact, after the whole competition during that day, a lot of the athletes, especially the winners, went back home with a huge amount of money, as their prize. But I will skip those details now and go to what is set to happen, because the country of Nigeria is set to host the entire African continent. Talking about the African Arm Wrestling Championship set to hold in Nigeria in July. A lot of preparation has gone down. As a matter of fact, one of the updates getting to us from Samuel L. Jackson, that is the president of Nigerian Arm Wrestling Federation, Samuel Jackson. One of the updates coming from his table is the fact that the team Nigeria are moving to close camp. They are getting ready, stepping up their preparation. And of course, the African Arm Wrestling team are set to come down to Nigeria in the month of July to investigate, to look at several facilities and some of the equipment that are being prepared for the competition to ensure everything is in shape. So medals have arrived, trophies are ready, and Team Nigeria will move to close camp next month. That's talking about the month of July. And as I said earlier, I'd like to reiterate that the African Arm Wrestling Federation is sending a representative to Nigeria to visit Nigeria on July 3rd to see facilities, hotels, and how Nigeria local organizing committee is faring as they prepare to host Africa. This is a big deal. As I said, several people might not have heard of this, but this is something so interesting, and this is where we take our lesson from, actually talking about our own part on DNTWOK. We'll not leave you with the sports story alone. We'll try as much as possible to learn one or two things from this sporting story and take life lessons we can apply to ourselves. And so what is the lesson this time around? I think that is very plain to see, that there is such a sport, such a game that can fetch you a prize called arm wrestling is something that amazes me, and I believe that should amaze a lot of people as well. The fact that something some people can see as so trivial, just a game, can be so broad and can be so established to the extent that you begin to get something as a sort of income from it if you take it up passionately. So, and that is where we'll be going this week on Sport Vibes. That whatever your talent is, whatever gift you have, don't allow anybody to trivialize it for you. It doesn't matter how uncommon, how unpopular it is. If God has deposited a gift in you, David was. I'm talking about a king, a certain king called David in the history of Israel. There was a king called David, but before he became a king, before he became so popular that we won't talk about him today, he had a skill of using catapults, making use of the sling. He started doing that in the wilderness, being sent on an errand by his father, training himself again and again, not knowing there will be a day where that skill will be needed to deliver an entire nation from trouble. And so he kept at what he knew how to do, and eventually that became a very, very crucial weapon for him to defeat the enemy. So regardless of how trivial your gift looks, it's not common, it doesn't look like something the world will celebrate, you just fan up the flames. Do not look at distractions. Yes, people will talk you down. Do you even have work to do? Why are you talking sports? As they might have said to some of us in the past, do you even have something serious like being a doctor, being a nurse, and all this? No disrespect to these white collar jobs, they are also very wonderful, but talking about the fact that regardless of how trivial, regardless of how unpopular your talent is, you can still make the best out of it, because God, you see, God the Almighty does not make mistakes. And if He gave you that gift, it could be playing drums, whatever it is, just ensure you do not allow anyone to discourage you. So as we wrap up on Sport Vibes this week, I'll leave you with this quote which says, "It is your duty to make the most out of the best that is in you." Don't forget that. It is your duty alone to make the most out of the best that is inside you. My name is Bolaji Alimi, the Sport Pilot. Till next time, fan up the flames. Thank you so much for watching Sport Vibes on DNTWOK. If you enjoyed the video, ensure you subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you.